What's up guys, Peter here from Reviews on Anything, and today we're having a look at another Kickstarter project that I backed a couple of months ago, namely the Rover mobile task light by a company called Striker. Now the good part is that Striker is already an existing company with existing products, so they have their manufacturing partners and their whole process already thought out. Often with Kickstarter projects you have a company with a great idea and an animation video, and once the project is successfully funded you have to go through the whole process from idea to final product. Not the case here with Striker. These Rover mobile task lights were funded and arrived pretty quickly afterwards, so that's actually very nice. Now this is a mobile task light and the name actually covers what it is very well. It's a mobile light that you can use anywhere from your garage to your shed to building sites, you name it. 1200 lumens of light, very portable, very mobile and rechargeable, so no fuzzing around with batteries, but a light that you can use anywhere for any task. It's a pretty rugged and cool looking unit, so we're going to take a closer look, see what's what, and see if it's actually as good as they promised it to be. Alright, so here we are up close with the Rover mobile task light from Striker. I got two units, as you can see. One is still in the box, which is quite a shouty box if you ask me, but it does cover all the features and all the sort of guides on how to use this on the packaging. So that is on the one hand quite nice, but on the other hand it creates quite a shouty box, as you can imagine. Not much to see in terms of what you get in the box. It's just the unit and a charging cable. It's micro USB, of which you probably have 10,000 laying around anyway, but it's nice that they include it in the box. So let's put that to the side. Focus on the unit itself. Obviously the first thing that strikes you, no pun intended with the name, is the shape of the unit where the light is located. I'm not really sure how functional it is. It is probably something to do with heat dissipation, but I'm not really sure that it's entirely necessary. It does look and feel pretty cool though. It's metal, as you can see, so I'm sure it does good things when it comes to heat management. But it's also preventing you, when this falls over or when you bump into it with something, that the light gets damaged right away. On the front here you got the light, obviously, as you can see, that has two settings. This is sort of the light goes anywhere setting, but you can slide this little focal lens down and then you have a bit more of a focused beam, which is nice when you can't put this right next to the project that you're working on and you need a bit more distance between you and the light. Then this might come in handy. Now this tilts obviously the light head so that makes sure you can aim the light anywhere you want. Which is important because, as you can see, it's not a very tall unit. I mean, this is the feet sit on the floor obviously, so even when you're working on your car bumper, this is going to be shining up onto your bumper. So you're going to need to angle it a little bit to make sure that the light comes where you want it to be. And if that's not high enough for you at all, then down here there is a standard sort of screw mount, so you can put it on a tripod or anything to elevate the light a bit and to get more light where you want it. So that's a nice extra thought. The other thing you can do obviously is with the feet being open, you can clip it on any workbench or anything, maybe put a little screw on or a tie rip on it, and you have your elevated light that way. Then we come to the bottom, which is pretty much all battery. You see the charging port right here, micro USB like I said, which is a bit of an afterthought. If you ask me, this is quite flimsy. This pops in here, but it doesn't really stick there. That doesn't really look good. Maybe they cut some corners there when it comes to price. I don't really know why you need to have a cover for this anyway. You're going to be using this in dusty environments, so that's probably why. But they could have done a better job with this. Then we have the power button, which is exactly what you think it is. It is the power and the toggle button, so you can run through the different modes there. And this also lights up when you're charging. It starts blinking, so that's a good indicator that you know that you're actually charging the lights. So let's run through the modes here. You'll hear that the power button is quite the click. There we go. Maximum brightness, half brightness. We got SOS, in case that's necessary. And we got a strobe version, I suppose, for beside the road when you're breaking down with your car or when you're having a party at home. And that is it. I have to say the power button is not the most responsive thing in the world. You sometimes have to click it multiple times in order to get it to do anything, or you have to click it quite hard and deep. So, not the highest quality there, but also not that much of an issue since, you turn this on every once in a while. It's not like you're operating this power button constantly. I like that the wire here is a little bit exposed, but still covered. So, it is a wire sticking out, but it's something that, can only go one direction. no problems there, I think. And again, you know, it's something to cut a little bit of a corner when it comes to price, that they don't encase this completely. Also probably again to do with the heat dissipation from the back of the light here. Altogether, you know, it's an interesting design. It looks a bit like an insect if you ask me, but it's a very stable platform that you can pretty much put and mount anywhere. You can even hang it up, so you know, in case your light has to shine from above or anywhere else, and you can still angle it any direction you want. The only thing is that I would have liked to have seen it being angled the other way as well. That would definitely give you ultimate flexibility in terms of where to put your light, especially when it's hanging on something. But I suppose that would involve a much more complicated mechanism back here. And this is just, you know, a hinge with a screw, and that's it. So that makes it simpler and therefore cheaper again. Altogether, it's not a cheap product though. It doesn't feel cheap. It's not expensive, but I think they've cut corners in the right ways. Kept the product simple, but very effective. Alright, conclusion time. What do we make of the Rover mobile task light? In short, I like this a lot. It is exactly what the name suggests. It is for mobile and for tasks. So I don't think this belongs in a very professional environment like a building site. For that you probably need something a little bit more heavy duty. But for tasks in and around the house, in your garage, working on your car, working on projects in your shed, this is great. It gives you a lot of light in a very small compact form factor. It looks cool, and I like the smart things that they've done, like the light focus and the tripod mount, for example. That shows that they thought the product through. The battery life, you know, you can argue about that all day long if it should be bigger or smaller. But putting a much larger battery in here will obviously make it less portable because it comes heavier. And I think you'll be using this not for such extended periods of time that the battery will really become an issue. Overall though, a light like this I think should belong in any house, any garage or any shed where you might be doing anything from, you know, putting a painting on the wall and needing a bit of extra light there to actually working underneath your car. This is a light that is small, portable, fits anywhere, gives enough light and still has enough battery life to get through a task without being, you know, overly bulky, overly cumbersome. It's simple and the design might be a bit funky and not entirely functional here and there, but overall I think it's rugged enough to survive anything you will throw at it in sort of day-to-day tasks. So definitely a good product, worth the money, worth the investment if you have you know, a house, if you do stuff by yourself in and around the house or on your car sometimes. I think a light like this should belong in anybody's toolbox. This is Peter from Reviews on Anything with a look at the Rover mobile task light from Stryker. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to the channel, that always helps us out a lot. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers!